live on Facebook and YouTube.
Well, welcome back, Facebook. Welcome back, YouTube. What's
And
going on, everybody?
hold on, Instagram is live.
And we're good?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, guys. Today, I want to talk about some marketing stuff. Obviously, everyone's familiar with the marketing funnel, right? Click funnels. Everyone has a new funnel. I'm just not a big fan of funnels, I'll be honest with you. And I was recently introduced to the marketing flywheel. Shout out to Tommy from Creator Launch. And a flywheel just makes way more sense. There's three fundamental issues you're going to deal with as a salon owner. And anyone know what they are? Give you guys a second to think about it. James,
Nick,
do you know what they are?
no clue.
All right. So as a salon owner, you got three problems. Typically, three things you want to figure out. A, what salon model do you want to use? Like, do you want to be rental? Do you want to be commission? Do you want a hybrid? Do you want to pay hourly? What is it that you want? Like, what is your dream salon model that will get you to your dream result and accomplish the mission of being the most successful salon owner in the world? Number two, how are you going to fill the seats with people? Right? Clients. Who's going to sit in the chairs and get their hair done? And then number three, who's going to work behind them? Who's going to do the hair? So you have a stylist acquisition problem and you have a client acquisition problem. And then based on whatever salon model you want, you're going to pay either commission or have the stylist pay you rent. So today I want to talk about the client acquisition. And unfortunately, this is a big problem for a lot of people. Has nothing to do with the economy, has nothing to do with what time of year it is, if it's summertime, if it's after the new year. Like, it honestly has everything to do with your marketing. Do people even know you exist? That's the first question. The second one is, do they trust you? And the third is, can you convince them to come into your salon and get their hair done? So we're going to first break down the marketing funnel and why I don't really like it. Then we're going to jump to the marketing flywheel. And I want to talk about some principles that I've been using lately. It's been working very, very well. First, the marketing funnel. If you guys watch any kind of marketing videos on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok, you see everyone talking about funnels. And it's a one-way process, right, James? Like, you heard ClickFunnels before?
Of course.
Yeah.
Russell Brunson.
This is not to say funnels don't work. Funnels are great for selling this phone case and you get clicked into my funnel. And then I just kind of upsell, downsell, whatever it is that funnel does. When it comes to a service, though, when it comes to you creating an experience online with your social media, with your YouTube, with your Instagram, with you trying to build trust and authority, a funnel just doesn't really work. James, do you see my screen here?
I do.
All right, cool. We're trying something new, everybody. If you're listening to this on the podcast, drop me a message on Instagram at Nick Mirabella and say, hey, send me the PDF for the funnel versus flywheel approach.
And if you're listening to on any podcast platforms, make sure you tune in on YouTube to see all of these slides that you're missing out on.
So typically, the funnel approach is one time, one conversion, and you're done. You upsell, downsell, you might retarget through an email campaign. But the flywheel approach is continuous. You get them in your world. You nurture them. You build trust. You let them know you're going to be here to stay. See, when it comes to like funnels, you're in and out. It's not romantic. It's abrasive. You're in their face. You're running ads. You're like, click, click, click now, buy now, buy now, buy now. That's not fun. It's not fun for the end user. Doesn't build any trust. Doesn't build any authority. But the flywheel, what you do is you go into the awareness stage. You just say hi. You get them in your world. So that could be an Instagram post. That could be a story. That could be a YouTube video. It could be you on a podcast as a guest. Could be any piece of content. Just introduces yourself. That's all you want to do is just say, hi, I'm here. Make the person aware of you. One of the ways to do this is with a really well thought out blog for your salon's website. That's one basic way to do it. You could have ChatGPT help you. You could put that content out on your stories. You can link it to. You could put it on LinkedIn. You can put it on Facebook, wherever you want to put it. But it's just to say, hey, here's some free information. Now, you want to start building trust. You want to start creating content that lets the people who've never been to you before trust you. Like, you know what you're doing. You know how to do hair. You know how to solve problems when it comes to corrective color. They begin to see maybe some testimonials that you're sharing in your stories, some testimonials on your Facebook feed, on your Instagram highlights, testimonials on Yelp and Google, obviously. Anything to build trust. So transformation videos, behind the scenes stuff, it really lets the clients know that, hey, this person's really good at what they do. One of the things I love to do for building trust is to have one of my clients make me a collaborator, or I make them a collaborator on my post. So their friends see that we're collaborating on their after picture or their reel, and now their audience becomes my audience. That, because they trust me, it lets their audience know they can trust me too. That's an amazing little tip to build some trust. And that is like the interest. Now people see your Instagram post, they see some of your content, and then now they see a friend. They're like, "Oh shit, I trust this person." But the hard part is getting them to make a decision to come to you. And this could work multifaceted, guys. So if you're a salon owner, you're listening, this same framework I'm going to teach for you to attract stylists in your salon. It's a big deal for someone to leave the salon they're at right now and go work at your salon. It's a huge deal. They got to get their clients, they got to get the phone numbers. It's a lot. They got to have the hard conversation with the owner that they're leaving. They got to have the conversation with the clients that they're leaving and they're going somewhere new. They themselves have anxiety about going somewhere new. So just as you as a stylist, you know that feeling when you leave one salon to go to another. Imagine what it's like for your clients when they leave one salon to go to another. They're leaving their hairstylists that they've been going to for years. And for you to gain that trust, to become an authority, to become authoritative enough for that person to make a decision to leave their current stylist to sit in your chair, you have to understand it takes some time and nurture that person. So a funnel just doesn't work. You need the flywheel. And I'm going to give you the breakdown right now. So it's the awareness stage, the interest stage, and the decision stage. Here's what's going to happen. And this is why it's a flywheel. They're going to get aware of you. They're going to know you exist. Then they're going to be interested. Then they're going to have to make a decision. If they don't make a decision, you don't disappear. You just come up with a new piece of content. Say, hey, I'm over here. I do cutting too. Hey, I'm over here. I do amazing blowouts. Hey, I'm over here. I do amazing, whatever, highlights. Whatever the thing is that you do that you're the best at, you keep on creating content. Just be aware. And it's not going to be annoying content. You're going to solve some problems. You're going to think of all the frustrations all your best clients have. You're going to create content that shows how your service solves that frustration or the products you use solves that frustration. It's so easy. Your content needs to keep on connecting these three dots for them until they make a decision. Now, once they come into your salon and they become a client, they are going to be nervous, right? They're going to be extremely nervous. They're going to have questions. They're going to be, did I make the right decision? Is this the right stylist for me? I know they're great online. My friend got me a gift card for this person. Now I'm going to her. Like, you were able to get them to make a decision somehow through some of your tactics that you do for marketing. Once the client walks through your door, that's where the real work begins. You have to nurture them. You have to think about the customer experience on a completely different level. Like I said in the beginning, if you were going to change salons, what kind of anxiety does that bring up for you? There's a lot of emotions in that. When a stylist goes to a new salon, there's a lot of anxiety around that. And I think when a client goes to a new salon, there's a lot of anxiety around that. And as stylists, we don't have that feeling anymore because it's our world. Like, we live in the salon. There's no like fear of going to work. Like, we don't have anxiety about getting hair done. Well, some of us might, but not all of us. And so for a client, one of the most scary things that they have to experience is actually walking through the door. So, guys, I know everyone talks about no-shows and how people make appointments and they don't show up for the appointments, and you have all these policies that are, maybe causing friction for a new client to come in, maybe not. But have you ever thought of why people aren't showing up? Maybe there's something about anxiety, like maybe they're nervous, maybe they lost trust in you. So, yes, you have the policies in place. Yes, you have everything that's protecting you as a stylist. I'm not saying don't do that. What I'm saying is, have you ever seek first to understand why that client doesn't walk in your door for that appointment after they booked the appointment online, or they called you, they had the consultation? What kind of anxiety did they have? What was it that caused them not to show up to get their hair done? How do you fix that? How do you stop that from happening? We never think about that side. We only think about the side of protecting ourselves against people canceling or not showing. But how can you nurture the client in a way that makes them feel that their decision was the right decision to come to your salon? And so part of that could be maybe like an email chain after they book the appointment, some video content proving that you're still an authority. You want to nurture that person. So the amount of cancellations or no shows goes down to almost zero. For me, the way I create content, I do a lot of retargeting campaigns. So after somebody books an appointment with me, I have their email. They go into a little tagged category in my database. Then what I do is I retarget to all the clients who have been to me less than 3 times. And I could do that on Facebook. So why don't you take some of these emails and retarget some other kind of content so people still become aware of how amazing you are and you still build trust, right? There's a whole entire flywheel here, a whole entire framework to nurture your clients. Now, once they come into your chair and you wow them, it's like you crush that first visit. You have a little bit of trust now. You have I think up to 4 visits it is before the client really becomes yours. So once they come in one time, the most important thing that you do is you're consistent from that first visit for every visit after that. But initially, your first 3 to 4 visits have to be almost the same because they're going to quickly lose trust with you, and you can't let that happen. So you're going to nurture them, then you're going to build the trust because you delivered on that. But how do they feel now? Always go against feeling. How do they feel about booking that next appointment? Are they pre-booking? Are they not booking? Did their color fade? Did the haircut lay just right? One way to do that after that first visit, what do you think it is? James, what do you think it is?
Sorry, I was typing.
Oh, cool. What do you think that is? If you were to come to me for your hair, James, and I were to call you after that first visit in 2 days to be like, hey, James, I just want to thank you very much. You left me a review on my booking software. It was 5 stars. How do we get 7 stars? How do we make the experience even better for you? How was everything? Would that go a long way for you think?
Yeah, it shows that you're interested in what I want rather than just taking my money.
It shows also that you can trust me, that I'm going to continue to put you first as the client, that I care. I know I got you in through the Instagram ad or the Facebook ad. Now I got your money. I did your hair. But I really am concerned about how your experience was. I want to know how I can make it better. I want to know more about how you felt in my salon. And no one does that anymore. If you just do a little follow up, that goes a long way. I don't have too many stylists in my world that do this. And the ones that do, their retention rate is above 85 to 90%, no matter where they are. I've had stylists of mine that moved and they went from Texas to California, California to Idaho, New Jersey to Florida. And the way they were able to build up so fast, because they already had a good social media following, was after every visit, they followed up. And you know what they did next? They asked for a referral. They asked for something, whether it was a review or a referral, one or the other. And when someone refers somebody to you, you start building a bond between you and the people they refer to you. And then you begin to build your own little tribe. Inside of that tribe, you're going to be now in the loyalty stage. You want to make sure that you're rewarding them, whether it's points, whether it is some kind of a free product they get after every 10th visit, whatever that looks like for you and that works for you financially, have some kind of loyalty process. What always worked for me was anytime I raised prices, I had a loyalty program where I bumped up 20%. My loyalty people, they got a 10% increase rather than the 20. Something I did, people can argue with me about that, but for me, that's what worked. And that's what kept me raising my prices and never losing clients. I've heard people say in the past, if you raise your prices and you didn't lose any clients, you didn't raise them enough. I don't know if I always believe in that, especially in the service industry. I believe there's a way to raise your prices and still keep your old clientele coming back as well. But I want you guys to think about the loyalty stage. So right here is the trust stage we're just in, and then obviously creating advocates. You want to make sure people are sending you referrals. You want to make sure you have people leaving reviews. You want to make sure that there's a point system. You want to make sure that, James, how do I get out of the screen? You want to make sure that the people, your most loyal people, the people who send you other clients, the people who are always engaging with your social media, the people who are collaborating with you, there's something there for them. I like who in here has a like a rewards card or rewards program? James, do you belong to any?
Yeah, Ace Rewards.
Okay, hardware.
Ace Hardware from.
Okay, cool. Does it make you want to buy more stuff or no?
I don't know what it does. Wawa does that too. I have a Wawa Rewards.
You ever use it?
Yeah, I scan it every time I buy something at Wawa.
Nice. My wife has a Sephora rewards thing. I sell hair products. Obviously, I own a hair salon. She gets all her makeup from Sephora. And she has like, you get to the front counter, there's all these different rewards points that she can cash in her points for. And like, it's fun. It's almost like a game to get as many points as you can. And we were out somewhere. She's like, I don't want to use my points because I want to get as many points as possible. And she wants to get a real big number because she used them last time and it dropped down. You can create these kind of things, these kind of products for your clients, these reward products. And that's the loyalty stage. You want to keep them coming back. How you keep loyal people, though, is remember the flywheel I talked about for marketing? Creating the awareness, then you build the trust, then you have them make a decision. This is the same thing for your clientele that it already exists. You're going to nurture, you're going to build trust, you're going to make them loyal. You're going to go back to nurturing again. You're going to make sure that this flywheel that you have is, James?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't put that in there?
No. You have to keep it on me. You're good. This flywheel also is in place when you have your clientele. So you're nurturing those leads. You're nurturing those clients. You're having a system to acquire the client and to keep the client. And if you say funnel, like a retention funnel, it just doesn't really work. You want the retention flywheel. So I want you to rethink how you attract clients and how you keep clients. And there's a process to getting their attention, to building trust, and to having them make a decision to come to you. And the same thing goes for retaining clients. If your retention rate is below 80%, there's some work to be done. You have to ask yourself why. And if you institute a product like the retention flywheel, it's going to help you tremendously. So that is my little flywheel versus funnel podcast. And if you guys have any questions on that, if you want to learn more, reach out to me on Instagram, DM me the word flywheel. I'll send you over the PDF that I used for this podcast, and you can take a look at some of the behind the curtain stuff of, how I put this together, my thinking, my thought process behind it. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. James, we're going to stay on Q&A. I'm ending it for a podcast, though. Unless you want to keep the podcast going for Q&A.
Absolutely.
All right, send it. What kind of questions you got, guys?
We only got one, but we got a couple statements. Hi, Nick. I love what you have to say. I tell my staff these things all the time. Bella Hair Nail 2015. What is your client notice when you are raising prices?
All right. So when you raise prices, if like say I'm going to raise prices, I like to do it 2 times a year when I raise prices. I'll raise prices in the winter and the summer. I'll raise color in the winter and I'll raise haircutting in the summer, or vice versa, whatever works for you. And so my system is, today I'm doing someone's hair. Hey, Barbara, just to let you know, next time you come in, we're going to be raising our prices. Like I'm raising my prices X amount %. Here's another way I like to do it. So when I raise my prices, this is something I really love to do. I tell Barbara, hey, Barbara, listen, if you come to our website or see our menu, you're going to see my prices are increased. But because you're a loyal customer, you're a loyal client, however you want to word it, your prices will be a little bit different. That's all I say. And typically, it's what I do is I raise them 20%. I'm like, you're going to see an increase in prices. Don't worry. Your prices won't be that. And so until I figure out what I want to do, it's why I said it like that in the beginning. I'll raise my prices 20% for all new clients. They might get a 10% discount because they are loyal clients. What this does is it makes them feel appreciated, and it helps you have any new clients coming in at that new price. If anyone asks, hey, why is she paying different? She's been with me for 5 years. She has her loyalty card. And you could have a loyalty card, a disc, whatever you want to use to word it, VIP card. That's what I do. So when I raise prices, I let them know, hey, next time you come in, there'll be a slight increase. Or next time, or if you go to book an appointment and you see the prices were raised, don't worry, those aren't your prices. And so when you get to the register and you're like, all right, we did a full highlight and a haircut, give Barbara 10% off because for the loyalty, whatever, VIP program, whatever you have in place. That's what I did. People tell me that That's not right. Like, you shouldn't discount anyone. I don't discount anyone. Like, I raised them 10%, and then I raised everyone else 20. I'm just using the verbiage to make them feel appreciated. So people who say that don't do hair, I think, and they don't ever have the hard conversations or the personal connection with some clients. So yeah, it is a real thing. Like, you could be a savage and raise your prices, but if you want to go from 300 or from $150 a full highlight to 300 a full highlight, and you want to do that in 2 years and not lose anyone, that's the way you do it, the way I just told you. Because I did it like that.
It's a marketing strategy all the time. They've been doing it every year on Black Friday.
Yeah.
They raise the prices and give you a discount.
So it's go ahead.
KMC Beauty CT. My business has benefited from all of what Nick has to say.
Is that Kayleen?
KMC Beauty CT.
I think it is. I don't have the feed in front of me right now.
I don't know if that's Kayleen. I just know it's KMC. But that's what she had to say.
Thanks. If it is Kayleen, thank you.
What strategies work best for promoting new services or products?
What strategies work best for promoting new services or products?
And yes, it is Kayleen.
Kayleen, you're awesome. Thank you for that. Make sure everyone follow Kayleen on Instagram. All right. So when we're talking about new strategies or products, you guys ready for it? Exactly what we talked about today. So when you have a new product or a new service that you want to bring to market, you need to first put people in the awareness stage. Make them aware you even do that service. Next, make them interested in it. Build some trust. I think I need extensions. Wow, those extensions solved Nicole's problem. I have the same problem with my hair. I also want long hair. Then become an authority on it. That's what your content should do. Prove that you're an authority to help them make a decision. So if you have a new service or product, make people aware of it, get them really interested in it so you build some trust, and then help them make a decision to say, yes, I want that, by being an authority. That is what you do. Next question, James.
We have, how can I differentiate my salon's branding and stand out from competitors?
Great question. So if you want to stand out from competitors, don't be in a competitive mindset. Play the infinite game. Play by your own rules. Be the best version of you. Go through the exact feeling and emotion you want every single client to feel when they see you on social media, when they book an appointment online, when they walk through your salon, when they sit down to get their hair done, when they're paying for the appointment, when they get the email, when they exit. Every single phase of that client's journey, you want to make sure is unique and personal to you and your brand. Don't even care about what the competition's doing. They're going to worry about you. So that's what you do. You want to be just so focused on you creating the best experience, so good they can't ignore you, that you're blowing away the competition. It's called The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek. You can get that book. But if you want to see what people are doing, honestly, like, book appointments at their salon. Like, you want to be really crazy, like, book an appointment there, get your hair done there, see what they're doing. Sign up with their email list, see what their text messaging is like. Go try and book an appointment on their website. Go take a look at the website. Go to their social media, make a fake account and DM them, see how they interact with you. Like, you want to get crazy? Do all that.
See if they follow up with you.
Yeah. That's like sneaky marketing 101. And take what they're doing that's awesome and use it. Take what they're doing that sucks and discard it, and see what they're doing that you didn't like, that didn't give you a good feeling, and don't do that in your salon.
How can I gather and act on client feedback to improve my services?
Exactly like I said in the beginning of this show. So to get client feedback, this is a really good question, because a lot of people think that because you have your booking software and they send them a text or an email saying, hey, how do you rate your experience? Typically, they're going to be like, it was great haircut, 5 stars down the right-hand side, and call it a day. You want to contact every single person that left you a 5-star review and be like, hey, Deborah, thank you for the 5-star review. Love it. How do we get 7 stars? What can we do to actually make it a better experience for you? Because people don't care about writing that email. Like, they barely ever do it. So you want to actually speak to them on the phone. And that's what you want. You want to know how you go from 5 to 7 stars. Because the people who give you 1 star, Like, what went wrong with that appointment, typically, unless they're a pain in the ass. But for the most part, like, it's the 5 stars that like, "Huh, wow, she always leaves me 5 stars, but I don't even know if it was a good experience for her." Ask them. It's a magical word. Just ask. How can we make this better? And for everyone, anyone and every person out here, the advice I gave before, go to salons, become like a customer again. I think we don't ever, once we work in a hair salon and we own a salon or we have a suite, like very rarely are we customers or clients for other people. But think about every industry, like you might get your nails done, your skincare done, things like that. What are the things that they're doing that really irritate you? Because you might do them too. And if you do, stop. And then how can you make it a better experience? Or how would you like your experience to be better when you were booking a reservation at a restaurant, when you were getting your teeth done by the dentist, when you were any experience like your skincare, if you get facials, if you're not in that in that realm, like if you just work in a hair salon and you don't have a spa in your salon, but go become a client, but go have people serve you, because the service industry is brutal, but it could be such a rewarding and amazing industry. But what we do is we forget what it's like to be a client because we're behind the chair so much, and we don't know what it's like to have that feeling of anxiety walking in somewhere. So get that feeling again. It's going to really open up your eyes to a lot. James?
Yeah, we got another one. I think you're going to like this one because I know
Okay.
this is something that you've done a few times in the past. Should I consider co-marketing opportunities with related local businesses?
100%. One of the best ways to build your clientele is to build it off of back of another business in your community. So I have a friend of mine. He has a restaurant. What I'll do is I'll create a $20 gift card for every single person that goes to his restaurant from November to Christmas. And every single person, when they eat there, they get a $20 gift card. And then guess what? Maybe everyone will come, maybe 10 people will come, but I guarantee you some of those people are going to come. Now, his restaurant gives my gift card out. I, in return, can give a gift card to his restaurant to all my clients as a thank you for coming to my salon. And so the two of us pair up on that, and it's a win-win. He gets some of my clients, I get some of his customers, and we could do the same thing when it comes to our staff. So he could have something built in his restaurant, so our staff gets like a employee discount, and they get something in our salon where his staff members get an employee discount. And then guess what we're doing? If he has a really like fun bartender who's super popular and she's got like a big following behind the bar, she can collaborate with my stylist. They can go live getting your hair done, and guess where my stylist goes? To their bar to have fun and promote her. So it's a win-win. You always should be collaborating with people. I just use a restaurant example because that's what I did, and it worked out really, really well for me.
Hold on. Creative Imagine Hair Salon ? What do you mean by ? I don't know what you're asking. How can I leverage data analytics to track client retention and marketing performance?
All right. So you have to make sure that all your pixels are set up properly from Meta, and then all your Google tags are set up properly from Google. And you have to make sure that you're running all your marketing campaigns into a central location where you can see where people are coming. And then you have to honestly take a look at your meta ads, take a look at your click-through ratio, take a look at your customer acquisition cost, and you have to make sure you have some way to measure the booking of an appointment, whether it's through a phone call, through a booking app, or a form they filled out, and if they actually converted after that form. So you have to be tracking conversions and tracking where those conversions came from, whether it was Google, Instagram, or Facebook. Here's where it gets tricky though. You need to have server-side tracking. And for those of you geeks out there, server-side tracking is something that tracks the IP addresses of the person. Like, I could be butchering this too, by the way, but you're not getting your data directly from Meta or Google. It's from a different server that's tracking the user, the client clicking everywhere. Because what happens is a client might click on a Google ad, then go to your website, then click on an Instagram ad, and then convert. But the actual entryway to make them a client was first Google. So you want to be able to make sure you're measuring the touch points that that client was making through all the different marketing that you're doing. And if you do that, then you could start seeing, oh, wow, I'm actually capturing people through Google first, but I'm really getting them through Instagram through my retargeting campaign. So what I would start doing is I wouldn't do any more retargeting through Google. I would just only bid for new customer acquisition, get them in my world, then retarget them again on Meta and Instagram. And then that way, I'm not wasting budget on the old clients on Google because they know I exist. I do better retargeting on Facebook and Instagram. Now, let's take a look at the data on the other end of things. Am I not really getting any conversions from new customers on Instagram and Facebook? But I'm really getting them from Google. So I wouldn't really do any targeting for a new person or a new audience on Facebook or Instagram, or I would lower that budget really, really low. And I would spin up my retargeting campaigns a lot greater on Meta. And this way, that budget is being used properly. So you got to start really taking a look at all your different touch points and where you can really put your dollars to work for you. And that's when you get to the next echelon of marketing. That's why people charge so much money to manage your ads for you. That's what they should be doing. But another thing you just do is ask them how they heard about you, and then ask them about like what made you want to come to me. Was it a Google ad? Was it an Instagram post? What was it? And then typically how it starts is they Googled best hair salon near me. They went to your Google business page. They clicked on some pictures. They went to your website link. They clicked around a little bit. They hit the little Instagram button in your header. They jumped on Instagram. They took a couple looks at some things. They got off the page. The next week, because they clicked on your website, you retargeted them again. You had an ad running. They saw the ad. They're like, oh shit, let me subscribe to this email thing. And then you retargeted them again. And then a couple weeks went by. They saw an organic post. Like, oh shit, I like Denise. I think she's great. I'm going to book an appointment with her. And so it's not about the actual first or the transaction that day, because it might show a conversion in your data. That customer journey could have happened 6 months ago. And it took you 6 months to nurture that person. That's why the flywheel is so important. All right, James, we're going to wrap it up with one last question here.
Dr. Rob's in the house. What's up,
Dr. Rob?
Hold on.
If you're watching this right now and you don't know anything about ads, you want some help and you own a hair salon, DM me the word grow, like on Instagram if you're watching this, on any one of the platforms. Let's get into a conversation so I can see where you're at and if I can even help you. And if I can help you, I have an amazing community that will help you with the 3 solutions to your problems, which are the perfect salon model, the stylist acquisition system, and then the customer acquisition machine.
Okay, so how do I train my staff to contribute positively to client retention?
What's your process for that? Do you have a system in place right now? Like, do you have a customer journey outlined of exactly what you want them to do? How do you want them to greet the clients? How do you want them to do their consultations? Like, what is your process for that? Can you tell me right now, can you send me somewhere in your standard operating procedures how that looks? And can I ask all of your stylists, do they know where that is if they don't? So there's 3 things that you have to worry about, or you have to really concern yourself with questions like this. First, do they know they should be doing it? Do they know how to do it? And are they motivated to do it? So do they know they should be, asking a customer how they heard about the salon or them? Step 1. And if not, then you should have some kind of playbook for them. And step 2, do they know how to ask them? Like, is there like a mini script that you go over with them? Because a lot of people don't know that they should be doing things. They don't know how to do things. And if they don't know those 2, you got to fix them. If you fix those 2 things, then it's really just about motivation. And then how do you motivate them? Well, you don't. You got to inspire them. You got to influence them. Motivation dies early. But when you influence them and you inspire them that, hey, this is the result you can have if you do steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, you'll retain your clients. So take a look at your process you have in place for that.
Right.
And I think that's going to be it. I'll give one more question if there's one in the chat right now.
Yeah, there's one more. What types of content resonates most with salon clients on social media?
Are we talking salon clients who know you or salon clients who don't know you yet? Because there's 2 different kinds of content you got to create. You have the awareness content, you got the interest content, you have the decision-making content. So the type of content, honestly, is the why and the how, right? So why content is why they should go to you. Like, why? Why should they make a decision to come to you? How content is like, how you do hair. So how to's, things like that, that prove you know exactly what you're doing. And then some of the other content is the why they should go to you. That's personality. That's like, could you go horseback riding? Are you a swimmer? Do you play tennis? Do you snowboard? What kind of stuff do you like to do? Like, and then showcase some of the hobbies, who you are as a person. That's why they want to go to you, because they like you. Create likable content. The how content's easy. It's the corrective colors that you did. It's the transformations. It's the reels. It's the testimonials, the product reviews, all that stuff. That's like, oh, great. I know she knows what she's doing. But do I like her enough to actually want to go to her or him? So those are the two types of content you should be creating. And with that said, everybody listening, any questions? If you want the sample or you want this PDF, shoot me the word flywheel. I'll send you over the PDF that I use for this. If you want to get in a conversation about getting help for your salon, go to Instagram at Nick Mirabella. DM me the word grow. We'll chat. If I'm a good fit, let's rock and roll. If not, I know a ton of different mentors and coaches that may be a better fit, and I'll point you in their direction instead. Everybody have a good weekend, and I'll see you later.